Welcome. Today we will open, and in our physical practice we'll look at heart openers and how to find some expansion in our heart space. And I wanted to introduce briefly, it's such a big topic, the heart practices, the Brahmavihārās, which are 4 qualities of the heart that the Buddha encouraged us to cultivate, and not to go out and get and take, but they're qualities of our heart that we already have, that have kind of been muddied a little bit because life is hard. So there's reasons why we kind of cover and guard and protect ourselves. But to cultivate in terms of to cultivate a relationship with, again, to kind of spit shine, if you will, our hearts, so that we can come more into these qualities. And they are Metta, which is loving kindness. You may have heard of this one. This is the one that we hear about the most. Karuna, which is compassion. Mudita, which I love, which is a shared joy, a sympathetic joy. It's like when we can be happy for other people's happiness. And then the last one is equanimity, Upekkha, which is when we can stay sturdy-footed even through life's ebbs and flows. And I'm not going to go through every one of these today. It's a whole course of itself. But just this idea, and we'll just kind of look at metta, just this idea of this loving kindness, of an expanded heart, of our ability, and remember, in our innate ability to have these qualities in us already, and then how can we bring them forth even more? And it's really through practice. So a few metta phrases we can use in the beginning and the end. And this is the traditional way to practice metta, even though there's many ways. It's offering kindness to ourselves, to others, and to the whole world. So we'll do this together. And you can close your eyes down and let your eyelids be heavy. And you can just repeat these phrases to yourself, or you can repeat after me. May I be happy. May you be happy. And may we all be happy. Maybe a hand on the heart. May I be at ease. And imagining someone that you love. May you be at ease. And then widening. May we all be at ease. And may I know freedom. May you know freedom. And may we all know freedom. Maybe you notice even just speaking these words and having this visualization that there's a little bit of a quiver in the heart, or a little bit of, and maybe there's not, and that's okay too. I'm just noticing. Kind of keeping this in mind as we move through our practice today. Hands to heart center. Interlace the fingers. And we're going to push the hands forward, get a big stretch of the hands, and then lift the arms up. Bend the elbows and pull the heart center forward as you pull the elbows back a little bit. So you may notice that the ribs begin to come out, and that's okay, but see what it's like to pull the front ribs towards the back ribs and then open up the heart instead of the ribs so much. Just notice the difference. And then exhale, we're going to twist towards the right, and the hands tent down on the floor, taking a twist. Soft bend in the elbows. And then using the finger, the pressure into the floor to help kind of twist you around. So isometric support. if you will. And exhale, release, hands to heart center. Interlace the fingers. Push the hands forward, chin to chest. And then inhale, lift up, soft bend in the elbows. And see if you can draw the front ribs back to the back ribs while still lifting the heart center. And then exhale, twist towards the left, hands come down. So maybe they're both on the ground. Maybe one of them is on the leg, your choice. Steady breath. Soft bend in the elbows. Pull the heart center forward even here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Tabletop. And blocks or no blocks? That is the question. Your choice. Take some cat and cow here. And focus on the heart center, how it closes off as we curl in, and how it broadens and widens across the collarbones, across the sternum as you come up. And then bring the knees a little bit wider and bring the toes to touch as you sink the hips back and sit on the heels. I'm going to take a dancing camel here, one of my faves. So right hand behind, so we've kind of been in this twist a little bit, left arm up and back. So we can stay right here. Here's an option. You'll pull the heart center forward and then reach the left arm back. So you're kind of reaching in both directions here, as if someone's pulling back from your fingers and pulling forward at the heart. And then we're going to swoop forward. So you'll lean over towards the right, and the arms will kind of swoop, and you can lean down, yeah? To find yourself, same place, other side. So there's an arch in the back. The heart center is being pulled forward as the fingertips are being pulled back. Maybe bend in this standing arm here to find some buoyancy. And then we'll move with breath, and you can widen this expression. So exhale, come low, swoop forward, and come up on the other side. If you'd like to lift the hips, you can. And then exhale, swoop. Your inhales open you up. So continue at your own pace and go to whatever variation that you'd like. Artistic liberty is welcome, so play around. Once more each side. And release. Hands to the blocks or to the floor. Tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Steady breath. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Bend both knees here so you have some buoyancy. And then exhale, the thigh comes to the belly, and that helps to puff up the back of the heart. And then step through. So it's like that leg kind of helps to lift us up. The back knee plants, and we lift the arms up. They just grow up as you unfurl. Exhale, the hands plant. L shape, shift forward. Left leg lifts. Standing leg is bent. Pull back on the right hip crease here. So you have some buoyancy. And then exhale, the left foot steps off the right side of the mat, curtsy pose. Waving the arms back. You can press into the pinky toe edge side of the foot. I kind of like to come up on that edge there. Heart's pulling forward. And then press down through the feet. The arms rotate open and lift up. Side stretch here. Find buoyancy, maybe wave the spine. And then one leg mountain. So put the weight into the right leg. The left knee is going to come up and in towards the chest. I'm going to pull back on the left hip crease a little bit. And then bring the hands down by the side as the left heel comes to the glute and grab for the top of the foot. Pull the heel towards the glute as you shift the hips forward and lift the heart. There's a bend in the elbows. You're beginning to find a little bit of a heart opener here. And then maybe you imagine you kick into the hands. Steady breath. Find some buoyancy in the standing leg. And then slowly come into airplane. So release the hands, bring them to heart center as the left leg extends long. Pull up through the inner thigh of the left leg. And then slowly, slowly, slowly step towards the back of the mat. The right hands can come down to the mat or to the floor. Pyramid pose, lengthen the front leg. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, press down through the hands. Maybe come to the front heel and drag the leg back, downward facing dog. Let's do this on the other side, shall we? Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, the thigh presses into the belly to puff up the back of the heart. Step through in between the blocks. The back heel plant, or the black knee plants as it does lift up, unfurl, Anjaneyasana. And exhale, hands come down to the blocks, L shape. So maybe move them up a little bit. Pull back on the left hip crease, lift through the right inner thigh. Slowly step off the right side of the mat. We're coming into curtsy pose. Bend both legs, wave the arms back. So lots of equal opposition here. Hips pulling back, heart pulling forward. And then press down through the feet. Turn the palms up as you lift up into side dancer here. Plant the back heel and find some movement in the body. Bend in the standing leg. Press down through the left foot. One leg mountain. Take a moment to get yourself centered here. Arms lift. And then exhale, arms come behind the back. Heel comes to glute. Grab the top of the foot. So some options here. You can pull the heel towards the glute, staying here. Or alternatively, you can kick into the hands. Wherever you are, think about lifting not only the heart space, but think about pubic bone lifting to the belly button. Belly button lifting to the heart space lifting up to the throat. All right, transitioning now slowly into airplane mode. So airplane mode, into airplane. Extend the back leg long, hands to heart center. Bend in the standing leg, pull back on the left hip crease. That can help your balance. And then slow step back to the back of the mat. And then plant the hands down. Pour forward pyramid. Let that feel good. Release. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, pour. Come to the front heel. Press down through the hands and lift to pull the back leg back. Inhale, wave forward plank pose. And exhale, the knees come down, the elbows soften, and pull the heart center forward. We're going to drip the pelvis down so the heart comes last. Forehead touches and lifts right back up. Pubic bone presses down as the heart lifts up. Tuck the toes. Pull the belly towards the spine as you push back, downward facing dog. All right. Adding on, inhale, right leg lifts. And exhale, step in between the thumbs. Back knee plants. Unfurl, lift, open. And exhale, hands plant. Inhale, L shape, bent standing leg. And exhale, curtsy pose. Wave the arms back. Inhale, press down to lift up. big side stretch. And then shift one leg mountain. Hands come behind, and this time we're going to grab on the inside of the left foot with just the left hand. Right hand comes to the heart. So Natarajasana. Be sure that you have some buoyancy in the standing leg. And we're going to kick into the hand as the heart center pulls forward. So finding this counterbalance here. This can be just quite a gentle opening, or you can make it quite expansive. Steady breath, lifting pubic bone to belly, belly to heart. And then slow step back. Slowly, slowly step back. As the toes touch, the hands can plant. Pour forward, pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift. Press down into the hands around the upper back and glide the right foot back. Inhale, wave forward plank pose. Exhale, the knees drop. Pull the heart forward, bend the elbows. Let the pelvis melt down. Maybe the knees are bent. Forehead drops. And inhale, lift the heart up. Really your choice here. Hips glide back, toes tuck, downward dog. One more full round of breath. Inhale, left leg lifts. And exhale, step in between the thumbs. Back knee plants, unfurl and lift. Exhale, hands plant, shift them forward a little bit, L shape. Exhale, curtsy pose. Wave the hands back. Press down lifts you up. Big side stretch. Press down into the left foot. Lift yourself up, one leg mountain. Full round of breath here. And exhale, moving into Natarajasana. So catch the right foot on the inside, left hand to the heart. You can also bring it out. You should maybe what you're more used to. And then begin to kick into the hand as you think about lengthening the front of the body, pulling the whole front sheath of the body up, pluming up the heart. The hand on the heart, to me, kind of helps to remind me that this is really where the opening is. Not so much how high I can get the leg. It's about the heart. Slowly coming out of this, lengthening the left leg back. So you're kind of coming through that warrior three. And then as the foot plants, the hands plant and pour forward, pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, press into the hands, come to the front heel as you slide the leg back, downward dog. One more vinyasa here. Maybe bend the knees and try this other variation. Inhale, wave forward. Exhale, the knees slowly drip as the elbows bend, the pelvis melts forward, heart lifts. So we're sliding ourselves down, bending the knees. Exhale, the forehead plants for just a moment. And then come into cobra in the front body. Maybe more of an upward dog, your choice. Toes coming towards the back of the head. And then we just kind of lever it back. So the hips come to the heels. The toes plant, downward facing dog. That is so just an option, but can be fun. Steady breath here. Wave forward. This time, bring the knees down and sit the hips back. If you have blocks, you can bring them back with you. And going to take Ustrasana, camel pose. So let's come up Bring the blocks kind of down by the ankles a little bit. And imagine that you're pressing the thighs against a wall, an invisible wall. You have a little bit of an inner spiral with both thighs. Yeah, a little bit of an inner spiral. And take the hands behind the back. You can have the thumbs up if you'd like. You can also have the hands down like you're going to put your hands in pockets, so that can be your choice. Whether your toes are tucked or untucked, that's up to you. It makes the knee lay in a different way. So we all have different knees, you see. What feels better to you? So we're pushing the hips forward and really thinking about lengthening the pubic bone. You can even take your hand, pubic bone to belly, belly to heart, and kind of move it across your skin a little bit. That's what we're looking for. Not so much about how far we can go back. We're looking to find a lot of opening in the front body. So begin to shift forward as you lean the heart back. And maybe the hands come to blocks. And you may need to shift them, figure out where it's helpful. Again, thinking more about front of the body, front of the body. Thighs gluing towards the invisible wall. And when you're ready, imagine that there is a string attached to your heart, and you're being pulled up slowly. The head comes up last, and then take a seat. Notice the effects here. Heart openers really have this energizing quality on a physical level. You can also imagine that on an emotional level as well. Like how good it feels and how kind of invigorated that we can be when we have moments of generosity, of empathy, of love. And then on a physical level, you can really notice that opening as well, and that internal energization. Is that a word? I remember one of my teachers saying that whenever we were in class, I think we were in like a 200-hour, we'd all get really tired during lectures and stuff. And if we were like nodding off, she'd have us like go do some sort of back bends or heart openers or something for this like energetic quality. And it did seem to work. And let's try one more time. You can do that same variation. You can also bring the hands down to the hips as well. And I'll show you another version that I like to use to get into it though. So maybe one works better than the other. So imagine that there's a bar above you, and imagine that you can do pull-ups. Some of you may be able to, I can't, but grabbing onto this bar. And the heart center is already kind of coming forward here. The hips are already kind of coming back. So see this kind of, this S curve in my spine already. So I'm going to pull myself up to the bar, and as I do that, the hips are going to move forward. So you can watch or you can do it with me. You're going to grab onto the bar, and you're going to begin to bend the elbows. Maybe do it slow here, find some buoyancy. Bend the elbows and then pull your chin up, open the throat as the hips come forward. So now the arms are kind of like in a cactus arms. You can bring them behind the back. Good to feel your booty, be sure that it's on. And maybe they come down towards the heels. And then we're back in the same shape of pressing the thighs forward, lengthening that whole front sheath of the front body. When you're ready to come up, heart pulls up, head last. Sink the hips down and then feel in. To the space, to the energy. Let's just take a gentle twist to close. So in Sukhasana or on the knees is fine. And taking a twist over towards the right. Not as deep as you can go. We're just kind of rotating the spine here a little bit. Giving it a little love after its big opening. And switching sides. Widening the knees a little bit. Let's just do some spinal swiggles, because they never go wrong. They never go out of style. And winding down. Bringing hands to heart center. Pulling the heart towards the thumbs as the thumbs press back into the heart. And remembering that we have these internal qualities already within us. Loving kindness, the ability to be compassionate, the ability to be joyful, and the quality of also being steady. And we can expand these. So may I, may you, may we all be happy. May I, may you, may we all find ease. And may I, may you, may we all know freedom. Pouring forward if that feels appropriate and alive for you, in thanks and gratitude. And a big exhale and a little wiggle. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this class. If you're interested in the Brahmavihārās and the heart practices, another name for them, I really encourage you to look them up. They're just a big part of my practice. Actually teaching a retreat in Thailand soon, and that is the theme. It's going to be good. So check them out and see how they can expand your beautiful heart. If you're enjoying these classes, I think that you'll really love my membership service, CCY Studio, where you can get all of my premium content, a wide variety of classes and links, and a book club as well. If you're interested, 14-day free trial, you can click the link above or the link in the description below, and I'll meet you on your mat.